Everybody, welcome to episode number 7 of the Clu and Clueless podcast. How exciting, Zoe? Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yes, she says. She wasn't really listening to me.
I was trying to work out if we were
Clu
live
and
or not.
Clueless. Clu and Clueless is the tech podcast where me and Zoe sit down every single week and we chat through some of the biggest tech news. My name is Robert. I run the Bite Size Clue channel here on YouTube, and I love absolutely everything tech. But what would a podcast be without a co-host? And that is where the wonderful Zoe comes in.
What channel are we live on?
Bite Size Clue.
Okay, that's why I can't find it.
And that is where the wonderful Zoe comes in.
Hi.
Zoe is my partner in crime, but she truly does put the less in Clueless, don't you, dear?
Yes, 100%.
You are...
As I am currently proving, because I'm
Perhaps-
looking at the wrong bloody channel.
You're perhaps the least techie person that I know. But do you know what? That's why people love this podcast, right?
Yeah.
So what are we talking about tonight? We've got a little bit of talk about Skype and how apparently it's still going, but not for long.
I thought it had already gone.
Exactly. We've got some Alexa news. We've got some news about Trump.
Oh, God.
And perhaps some news which might get us demonetized. So look forward to that one. Shall we roll the intro?
Yep.
Let's do it. Alright, Zoe, so how are you doing? Have you had a good week?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you as if I haven't spent the whole week with you. We've had a super busy day. I've obviously bought the iPhone 16e, so look out for a video on that on the Bite Size Clue channel really soon. Had to fix the washing machine as well. That was a palaver and caused a lot of water damage. But we're here,
And we painted the living room.
we have painted the living room. So let's jump right into the first piece of tech news, and that is all about Zoe.
Skype shut down?
The Skype shutdown, yes. Now, in shocking news to the perhaps, I think, 3 people who actually use Skype still, it is shutting down in May. Basically, they're making everybody move over to Microsoft Teams. Now, this news genuinely did surprise me because I had thought that they shut it down years ago.
So did I.
Apparently,
I haven't used it in like...
Exactly. So apparently...
9
10
years?
years? Exactly, I'm the same. Now, apparently it was the business portion of Skype. So there was Skype for Home and Skype for Business.
Yeah.
Apparently Skype for Business was the one that was shut down a couple of years ago and moved over to Teams. But for some reason, Skype for Home just kind of lingered. The idea here is you've got 60 days until the 5th of May to migrate your data from Skype over to Teams. There'll be a big export button which will export all your contacts, all your messages, your Skype credits as well over to Teams, so you can continue to have all the same conversations just over on Teams, which makes sense. It's the better software of the two. It's still not great. It's Teams. If you've ever used Teams, it's not good. You've never used Teams, have you?
No.
Nope.
I've used Zoom Call.
Yeah, it's like Zoom, but somehow more broken and painful.
Okay, yeah. I've only used Zoom for work training sessions.
Yeah. So Skype has been around for a very, very long time. I told you this before the podcast started, but were you actually listening to me? When did Skype start? When was it first launched?
2003.
It was 2003. The video portion.
Listening to you.
You were listening to me. The video portion of it came around in 2006 after a buyout from PayPal. I remember using it quite a lot back maybe 10, 15 years ago. I used it a lot to talk to friends over video calls. This was sort of just after MSN had closed down, right? So yeah, it was a big app at the time. And I don't actually know fully why it kind of got phased out, why nobody's sort of used it anymore.
I think it's because iPhones happened and there was FaceTime and the messaging video call
iMessage, WhatsApp and so on. Yeah, so...
I think that's what because obviously you've got those apps, well, 2 of the apps you've already got on there. What?
Oh, Emma's just said video on the iPhone 16e, but not on how to fix the washing machine. The way to fix a washing machine is to ensure that you don't put colour catcher sheets. Guys, the camera stream is frozen. Oh no! Are we? Can you check the stream for me? Oh yes, we have. We have frozen for some reason. Let me go and give the camera a kick.
Well, mine's still moving.
Are you a little bit behind? I can see actually on my stream that we are frozen up. So let me switch over to... Yeah, that's the live preview. Hang on. Let's try that again and switch cameras quickly. Ooh, why are you doing this, iPhone? Do you know what? Forget it. Let's just go with it, shall we?
Is it still frozen?
It's still frozen. My phone has decided it doesn't want to play ball.
So are we just going to be a frozen podcast thing? Can they still hear us?
They can still hear us. It's just they can't see us. For some reason, my video capture has decided it doesn't want to capture video.
Yeah, as long as they can still hear us.
They can. You'll just have to deal with it, unfortunately, for the moment, because I don't want to have to restart the stream. What do you mean I love colour leaves for washing? The colour catcher sheets are brilliant. They are great because it means that I can just yeet everything in the washing machine.
Just don't leave them in there like I did.
Yeah, so Zoe has a tendency to sort of leave them in the bottom of the drum. And that's when it gets clogged and it refuses to drain at that point. And it leaves a couple of litres of water across your floor.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have... Should we switch cameras? Because obviously that one's not working. Right, so we are...
Can we just do a voice one?
Yes, but then there's no point doing it live.
Maybe it's the live bit that does it.
Yeah, probably. Is it going to pick up again? It should pick up on this screen here. We should see very shortly. It should stop. Spinning wheel of death. What's that you said there? And we're back.
Are we?
Are we? Are we 3, 2, 1? Are we back in the room?
Can you let us know?
All I see. There we go. Okay, so what have we learnt? We have learnt to never work with animals, kids, or technology, because none of those three things are particularly easy or on our side tonight. So stream has crashed. So we had Streamlabs, but it decided it did not want to play ball. Should we start this podcast again?
Who's the other one that's
Connor? That's Connor Godfrey.
Is it Connor?
It is.
Okay.
So,
Take two.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 7 of the Clu and Clueless podcast, the tech podcast where you get tech from 2 perspectives. I've got to remember to not look at the camera back there because it's broken. Anyway, my name is Robert. I run the Bite Size Clue channel here on YouTube. Ignore the stream, it's behind.
Okay, I was going to say.
I run the Bite Size Clue channel on YouTube, and I love absolutely everything tech. But what would a podcast be without a co-host? And that is where the wonderful Zoe comes in. Say hello to Zoe.
Hello.
She truly does put the less in Clueless, don't you, dear?
Yes, 100%, as I've already proven tonight once.
Yes, but that is why we love you, and that is why this makes for such a great dynamic. Every week we take on a few different tech topics, and you get the techie perspective and the not so techie perspective.
And the one that's just confused the entire way through, basically.
So what are we talking about tonight, Zoe?
I don't know. We've already had part of the conversation.
So we're talking a little bit about Skype dying. So apparently Skype is still around, but it's soon not to be around anymore.
I thought that was gone like 10 years ago.
Exactly. So did everyone else. We have also got a little bit of news about Alexa, some news about Trump, and a few articles which could well get us cancelled.
Also, good idea.
Look forward to those ones. Anyway, shall we run the intro?
Again.
Let's do it. You know, one of these days we will be able to get through a podcast without something going wrong.
No, we're not.
I can dream, Harold. All right, shall we jump straight into the first topic?
Skype.
Or should we talk about washing machines again? Because we've already done that. The fix for a washing machine is to not put colour catcher sheets in them.
Pretty much.
Or if you do, at least take them out of the machine after you're done. Otherwise, they clog it up and things stop working. So Skype, it has apparently still been a thing up until now. But within the next 60 days, by the 5th of May, it will be shutting down for good. What does this mean, though, Zoe? It means that we are moving from Skype over to Teams. Again,
I thought everyone already was.
Yeah, I thought this was already a done thing. Apparently not. So Teams has always been the default for business since sort of lockdown, maybe just before lockdown. I think we were still using Teams.
Yeah. Or in my case, Zoom.
Exactly. At that point, Skype for Business shut down and got moved over to Teams. However, Skype for home use has apparently still had a bit of a cult following, and people still actually use it. I don't remember the last time I used Skype.
9 years ago for me.
Yeah, it was probably 9 or 10 years ago for me as well. Now, they are at least being nice enough to say that they're giving this 60-day warning so people can take their data from Skype and move it over to Teams. This means all of their conversation data, all of their contacts, basically everything will be moving across to the new platform. So all your conversations can continue just on the better of the two platforms.
I'm good.
This also includes Skype credits. I don't know how that one's going to work. I assume they will just translate them into like a service charge. So you get a couple of months free for the certain amount of Skype credits you have.
Fair enough.
Now, Zoe, do you remember when Skype was launched?
I did just say it. 2003.
It was launched back in 2003. At the time, it was just a voice over IP service. So it was just voice calls rather than video calls. The video call service started in 2006, shortly after it was bought out by PayPal or eBay. And then Microsoft bought it out, and that's when it became truly popular. I do remember using it a lot as a kid. I absolutely loved Skype because it was a way for me to keep in contact with my friends from school. It would have been 10 years ago. I'd probably been... No, it would have been longer than 10 years ago. Probably 15 years ago. 13, 14, 15.
Okay.
Yeah, teenage years. I was probably still using it.
19.
Yeah. So, do you have fond memories of using Skype, Zoe?
I only used it to speak to one person.
I remember the tune. I remember the tune to
I remember MSN more than Skype.
Yeah. Oh man, I loved it. I loved poking people on MSN. Was it called nudging, wasn't it? Nudging, and you had the animations of knocking on the screen and firing water at each other. We need to bring that back. We need to bring back the whole MSN emotes thing. That was great.
I remember MSN more than I do anything else. Really.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of the first thing I used.
Exactly. So Skype, for a long time, was the go-to when it came to text and voice chat, text, voice, and video chat. Why did it die?
Probably because the iPhones had iMessage and FaceTime, and you could use those instead. Because they were already downloaded, and you didn't need to download another app.
Yeah, this is true, but also they were such a dominant player in the market. I feel like they should have stayed that way. I don't understand why iMessage and such took over because Skype already had the user base for it. They must have done something wrong business-wise for it to fail, basically, like the way it did. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, and Skype wasn't
Probably
as great.
Overthinking it.
Skype wasn't as great as I remember it being. Can anyone back me up?
It froze quite a lot for me.
That may have just been your internet. I can see in here, but you have excellent. Yeah, so I actually don't. Maybe I just have rose-tinted glasses, and actually Skype wasn't as good as I remember it being. So yeah, 60 days to basically move everything across, which is at least nice of them. At least they are giving prior warning that it's going to be happening. The transition to Microsoft Teams will keep Skype group chats intact. And during the 60-day window, Microsoft will also maintain interoperability, so you can message contacts on Teams, and those messages will be delivered to friends still using Skype. So it sounds to me like they're basically the same platform anyway.
Pretty much.
So why shut one of them down?
Because it's not used by barely anyone.
But if it's already got interoperability between the two, just keep them both? I think the main reason people still used Skype to this day was because they could call phone numbers with it. You could use your Skype credits to call mobile numbers over Skype. Skype was always shit from 2010 onwards, but it makes me laugh that you're replacing it with Teams. I'm so happy for something not knowing what it is. Right? Teams is absolutely shocking. I can't. So
yeah, no, we didn't for like online training things during COVID and stuff, because obviously we couldn't have people come in and do physical training sessions. We ended up having to do it with Zoom instead.
Yeah, so I mean, when me and Em worked together, we used Teams to contact. This was during the first sort of 2 years of lockdown. It was fine. It sort of worked most of the time, and that was when I was using Windows computers. Now I've moved over to Mac. It's just awful.
You're the only person I know who uses Teams. Everyone else I know has used Zoom.
Instead. So, as a company at the moment, we use Zoom for external calls. Internal calls, we use Slack. But a lot of clients still use Teams.
Yeah.
So we have to have Teams calls, and you click on the link and it goes, "Oh, you have to download the Teams application." I download the Teams application. It refuses to open on my Mac, and I'm not the only person that this happens to. This happens to a couple of other people in our company as well. So you're like, okay, fine, I'll go via the web. You click, go via the web, and it says, but you're not logged into account. You can't join this because your account's not active. So I have to go into incognito mode to load a Teams call, to join a Teams call, and then close the incognito mode tab when I'm done. A Teams call feels dirty to me because I have to use incognito. I have fond memories of Skype though, and I am sad to see it going, but I guess now at least more people get to feel the pain that is Teams. Who's that?
Who do you think?
Is that Molly?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Of course it is.
I'm glad that we are being watched on a big screen. So, yeah, as lockdown started, most people that were using Skype moved over to Teams. Moved over to Zoom, right?
Yeah.
I think Zoom is the better of the two platforms.
It's the only one I've used, so I wouldn't know.
Bring back MSN, yes. Agreed, MSN was the GOAT. This chap only one like on the other video. Shame on Connor. 2 now. Let's go. Also, Spy City can create your own emojis on Teams. That turns everyone. Oh yes, creating emojis. So I love doing this on Slack.
Haven't you sent me some of those, like screenshots of some of the ones that you? Yeah.
Yes. So, should I say this or should I not say this?
Just say it. It's Em and Connor that are there. It's
So there are certain clients that we've had in the past that I have screenshotted and turned into stickers that we use on Slack continually. And if you would like to know more information about those stickers, feel free to private message me and I will explain them. That, I think, is about all I can say on the topic for now.
Yeah.
But, okay, so Teams.
Next subject?
Yeah, the one thing I want from Teams.
Okay.
Bring back MSN nudges. I want to be able to nudge my co-workers on Teams like I could back then. Knock on their screen, fire a water pistol at them. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on to topic number 2. And that is Alexa. Sorry if I've just triggered everybody's Alexa at home. Hang on. No, I'm not going to do it. So, Alexa have announced a new service coming to America to start with that they are calling Alexa Plus. It's different to normal Alexa because it's it's a large language model version of Alexa.
Woo!
No, I actually think this is a pretty exciting thing. Let's jump over to the news story. This is from The Verge here.
Sense to
No,
me.
it does. So, remember when we would have conversations with ChatGPT?
Yeah.
And we did it over Halloween?
Yeah.
That is what the new Alexa can do, or will be able to do. You'll be able to have natural language conversations with your Echo devices, and it will be able to do things on your behalf.
I can do that with ChatGPT. Why do I need Alexa to do it?
Because you've got to load up the app for ChatGPT, you've got to have a separate subscription for ChatGPT, and your devices that are already in your house will now have these capabilities. We've already got Alexas in this house. I've got a couple down in my office, and there's one in the living room.
Yeah, the one in the living room's not plugged in.
No, there it is. That Sonos soundbar has Alexa built in. You can bark orders at it.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. The more you know. The biggest surprise at Amazon's press conference last week was the lack of hardware announcements. Yes, so they had the Alexa event where they announced no new Alexas. The
then
software
why
they did.
Hold the event?
Because it was a big event for their software. So normally this is going to cost $20 a month.
Shouldn't they have renamed it?
Maybe. This is meant to cost $20 a month, but if you have Amazon Prime, which most people do, I think, you'll get this for free. And they spent about 70 minutes talking about the software. My goodness. Imagine what it could have been if they'd focused all this time on making Alexa good from the start. We'd have all been a lot closer to Jeff Bezos. Okay. So why is this interesting? It's interesting.
I don't know. Why is it?
Because you can now speak to it in a more human way and get it to do more interesting and more complex tasks for you. So in the demos that we've seen, somebody asked it to try and organise everyone's schedules. So all of the family members were on the Amazon account and all of their calendars were synced up together. And it was then able to basically just say, oh yeah, here's your calendar, here's all of these things happening. These two are conflicting. And then she said, oh, can you message this person and tell them that we can't do this anymore? And then Alexa went away and messaged this person to say, hey, we can't do this event anymore. It's like having a proper personal assistant.
Guess how else you can do that? Click off the app and message the person yourself.
Yes, but I actually think this could be a really interesting way forwards. No, just me?
Just you.
Okay.
Because I can go off the app and I can message them myself.
It can plan a date, book a restaurant, and text a babysitter. It can create travel itineraries and add it to everyone's calendars. Read your study guides and test your answers. Remember your favourite movies and foods, as well as find your smart devices and tackle actions.
Question, why do I need a thing to tell me what my favourite food and movies are? I already know what they are.
This is true. That was perhaps a bad example. It's not just about Alexa, it's the all new abilities that it can do. And now instead of skills, we have experts. which Alexa's various large language models can smartly tap into to deliver on your requests, however you phrase them. From ordering food to turning on your lights and telling you who's been at your door and what to cook for dinner. That was a cool thing, actually, that one of the demos that they did. So he asked his Alexa, do I need to take Benji out for a walk today? Benji was his dog. And the Alexa replied, no, someone's taken him out already. I can see from your Ring doorbell that they left the house at da-da-da and they came back at da-da-da. No? Come on, back me up here, people. Is this not a really interesting idea for a large language model to actually be able to do things for you? And it can do a lot of things for you.
Yeah, but I can also do those things.
You could. But why do it yourself when you can get an Alexa to do it for you?
Because then I'm not being lazy.
It's not about being lazy. It's about being efficient.
I don't...
Efficiency.
I'm on maternity leave. Why would I care about being efficient?
As part of the new software push, we're also finally getting a new revamped Alexa app, which will host Alexa Plus on your phone and the new Alexa.com website, where you can interact with your assistants from the comfort of your keyboard, both of which should be better input methods for Alexa's new multimodal capabilities. All of this could take voice assistants closer to their goal of being personal assistants rather than just household utilities. So,
do you want to try that again?
No, I don't. That was painful enough to start with. That sounds super creepy. Alexa is already creepy. Oh, okay, maybe I just get excited over the wrong things then. I think it's a really interesting idea, and I think it could be incredibly powerful. Not. However,
if you're disabled, yes. If you're able to do it yourself, no.
So this raises the question: how many people use? So a lot of people have Alexas in their homes. I think there was a study a little while ago that said 1 in 4 people have an Alexa somewhere in their home. Do you know what most people use their Alexas for?
Shopping lists.
Glorified speakers. They are glorified speakers.
Pretty much.
They bark an order at them, right? Alexa, I'm feeling down today. Oh, okay. I called child services so they can take you away from your kids until you feel better. Oh.
No.
But you get the idea. I think that as a large language model, this is going in the correct direction.
Okay.
It's better than Siri.
I don't like that one either. Next.
You want to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're done. You're done with this.
I am done
super
about
creepy
Alexa.
idea. Okay, fair enough. I like the idea, and I think it is a really interesting one. This is a fun article, Zoe.
Oh god.
We're staying on the AI train here. This one is This one is all about Apple's transcription tool transcribing the word racist as Trump.
No comment.
Now, Apple says it is working on a fix to its speech-to-text tool after some social media users found that if they were to speak the word racist into their iPhone, it typed out as Trump for a few seconds and then corrected itself. Okay.
Right.
The tech giant has suggested the issue is with its dictation service and has been caused by a problem in distinguishing words with an R in them. As an explanation, that makes absolutely no sense.
No.
The words don't even sound vaguely familiar. At all, right?
No.
This feels like a planned thing. I think what's actually happened here is somebody internally at Apple did this as an internal joke, and then it forgot to get erased before it went out.
Probably.
Because
that sounds more likely.
That sounds much more plausible. So
because
we're aware
racist
of,
and Trump don't sound
anything
alike.
No, we're aware of an issue of the speech recognition model that powers dictation, and we are rolling out a fix today, an Apple spokesperson said. However, an expert in speech recognition told the BBC this explanation was just not plausible. And I agree, it's not. There is absolutely no way that these two words can get mixed up. The BBC has not been able to replicate the mistake, suggesting Apple's fix is already taking effect. I've tried to do this as well. And as soon as I heard the news, I tried it and I could not get it to replicate. So maybe it was part of the US language package, which might have been. Or people have been doing this on device. So there is a way on your device that you can make autocorrections yourself. If you say one word, it will autocorrect to another. So whenever I type OMW, it autocorrects to on my way. It also does that on your iPhone. It's their default one. So perhaps what's happened here is those people on socials have set up the word racist to change to Trump. I don't know. It's a silly one. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, but it also did make me laugh as an idea. Do you use dictation on your phone?
Remind me what that is.
Do you press the little microphone button in the bottom right corner to speak to your phone instead of typing out a message?
Sometimes, but 3/4 of the time it will get what I've said wrong.
Ah, so you're saying that it does make mistakes. Has it ever called anyone racist, Zoe?
No.
Oh.
I've messaged Rebecca and messages about our children, and it's come up with something completely different.
Yeah. So a former Apple employee...
And then the sentence or the message I've sent makes no sense, and I've had to type out what it actually was supposed to be, and yeah.
Yeah, Apple's dictation and AI in general is really not in a good place right now.
If it's a short message, fine. Anything longer than one sentence and it's screwed.
No, I agree. I do agree with you there. A former Apple employee who works on its AI assistant Siri told the New York Times this smells like a serious prank. I agree. They've also had to shut down one of their other AI tools recently that they called Summaries, which would summarise notifications that came through because it absolutely butchered news stories as they came in. So the BBC News app would send out a notification about something, about a news story, and then Apple's summarization tool summarized it as something completely different. It's just, yeah,
that makes no sense.
Apple's not having a good time right now. They are really having a bad time.
Are we still going?
I believe so. Yeah, they're having a really bad time with their AI tools, and also with the iPhone 16e launch. A lot of people are really upset with Apple right now because of the 16e.
So remind me again why you're doing a review on it.
Because I want to put in my 2 pence.
Fair enough.
I think it is an interesting device for the right kind of person. And that right kind of person is probably going to buy the phone from me once I'm finished with it here.
Like me.
My father.
And that.
It's a great iPhone for people who don't need the latest and greatest features, but want to have it supported for the next 7 or 8 years. Anyway, that is a topic for a different day. Should we jump onto the topic that's probably going to get us cancelled? And we have to remember not to say a very particular word.
Oh, for God's sake.
With this article, because it will get us demonetised, and I quite like money. Oh, Mr. Krabs. Hi, I like money. There we go. So, there is a new app that they are calling Uber for Pew-Pews. The app called Protector lets you hire armoured bodyguards like you would in Uber. But does anyone actually need this? Now, I would argue, yes, people do actually need this. But surely they're people who have a specific team for this anyway, right? This is high-profile celebrities. This is high-profile politicians. They already have a team of security experts. Why would you need to hire someone on an app to do it? Surely there's also a lot of other issues surrounding this, in terms of having to vet them first.
Is this in the UK?
Of course not. Of course not. No, this is US.
Then I don't care.
In a TikTok video with over 3 million views, a woman in a fluffy
maximalist.
Thank you. Maximalist coat sits in the back seat of a luxury SUV parked in the middle of New York City.
But no.
Atop a 6-second video, a line reads, "Our bodyguards got us matcha." The camera zooms in on 2 intimidating men in full suits with red ties, each carrying an iced matcha latte as they walk back to the car. What? What the hell is this? Why? These posts were timed strategically with the launch of a new app called Protector. So clearly these were just marketing tools, right? This was just to get people talking about the app. Damn it, we've done it. We're actually talking about the app. Which debuted last week in Los Angeles and New York City. So yeah, two American cities, right? Allowing ordinary people to order a Secret Service-like security detail, but the videos weren't organic. Of course they weren't. We posted 14 pieces of content for Protector, which resulted in 15 million views and 30,000 downloads. The women from the match video, blah, 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 blah. So, Zoe, if you could create an app like Uber, it's Uber for blank, what would your Uber be for? It's Uber for Secret Service. It's Uber for food.
Delivering me cats.
It's Uber for cats. Uber for cuddles.
Yeah, delivering me all the cats.
I haven't actually seen our cat this evening.
No, neither have I.
No, he's disappeared. So you would do it for like pets.
Yeah.
It's Uber for pets.
Because not all Uber pet drivers actually allow pets in their Uber, which is stupid.
Fair enough.
Literally, I ordered an Uber pet to take Icarus to the vets, and I had the cage at the train station, because this was when we were at the other place, and they said, "Sorry, I don't take pets." I ordered Uber Pet for a reason.
Yeah. Jeez. So if you did want to order some intimidating men with pew-pews, it's going to cost you £24,000 or dollars a month. This raises the next question again.
Who has that kind of money other than celebrities, politicians?
The people who would need this app, right? But the people who need this app probably already have dedicated security teams. This app makes absolutely no sense. The idea is more tenuous than adding a gimmicky AI feature to a health app. It's not tenuous. There's nothing tenuous about it. It just...
He's not outside, is he?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It sounds like, to me, it's a way for them to make money out of stupid people.
Probably.
Yeah?
Probably.
Are we all in agreement on that one?
Yes.
Cool. So... moving on to Humane.
Remind me what this one is.
So this was... we talked about it last week with the company Humane shutting down the AI pin. The AI pin was basically just another AI device similar to the Rabbit R1, which I reviewed in the past.
Thing.
Yeah. So the Humane AI pin has already been brought back to life.
Yay.
So Humane pulled the plug on this Friday afternoon. A short time later, a hacker got the codes to unlock it and potentially turn it into an actual useful wearable. I find it funny that the company who built this were valued at a couple of billion at the time. They couldn't make this device useful. A group of hackers have got hold of it and are actually making it useful now. Yeah, so The day the humane AI pin died, it was also reborn, or at least there was hope. On February 28th, shortly after noon Pacific time, Humane switched off its servers supporting its continuous AI pin, essentially bricking a $700 device. Do you want to see if he's out there?
I thought I heard a knocking.
No.
Okay.
Essentially bricking a $700 device that was less than a year old. Minutes later, in a Discord voice chat room labelled the death of the AI pin, one member of a band of dedicated hackers determined to keep their pins alive, let the rest of the group know in on a secret. He had the codes they needed to get through Humane's authentication. Seconds, minutes after it went down, somebody had these codes already. I think this is an insider. This smells like somebody at Humane has gone, well, I've got these codes, I need to share them, because I think if I'd spent a lot of my time working on this product for it to just be shut down all of a sudden, I'd probably want to keep it alive as well. As a developer, I'd probably also want to keep it alive. Humane's gadget has been a poster child of AI-enhanced hardware disappointments. The cute, clippable device was meant to hang on lapels and shirt pockets and let you carry out many of the functions you'd find on your phone, taking pictures, displaying text messages, ordering from AI, and taking orders from AI chatbots. So, this brings me to the question, if hackers are able to do this with things like the Humane AI pin, why have they not been able to do it with the very expensive pieces of tech that we've used in the past? Cat retail services, you say, goes to ChatGPT and builds the app. How about Tinder for fights? Tinder for fights. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Tyler Durden would love to have a word with you, Connor. I agree with you, Rob. Like the insider job. Show us Icarus, says Molly. Go grab him. That's right. Why is there no Icarus cam? We can set you up an Icarus cam for next week's show. Now, yeah, I think it was an insider job, and I'm really glad that it was an insider job and that we've had something. Hello, buddy. That is an Icarus cam. Hello. For those listening on the audio podcast, I am currently stroking a rabbit's ears while Zoe is cuddling a rabbit who is coming up to 4 years old now. 5 years old. 5 years old.
Because we got him in 2020.
Oh, bless him. He's an old man. I was going to say he's an old man of rabbits now. But he is an absolute cutie pie.
Ew. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, so now we've had the AI pin shut down. Why could we not keep other products alive? Like the very expensive AR glasses that I purchased called the Magic Leap. Yes, I'm still salty about Magic Leap.
You are never going to stop mentioning those, are you?
No, because those things were.
You don't even have them.
Those things were.
They're at your work.
This isn't the point. These things were worth like $3,000. And because they didn't want to maintain the servers, these things are now paperweights. However much of a flop the hardware was, it was an important step and an important thing that happened in the AR space that is now just lost to time. Because, like, you could stick this thing in a museum as a hardware piece, but you'd never be able to use it again. You can't go and you can't preserve the software because it just doesn't work anymore. It is physically bricked.
Robert, how many pieces of tech are there in our current history that are no longer being used or no longer able to be used?
I agree, but this is about preservation of very important milestones in technological in technology, and this was one of them. The Magic Leap was absolutely one of them. The Floof, I love him. He's got so big and so fluffy. He's actually not that much bigger. He's still the same size. Yeah, he's not that much bigger. If you want to see a really fluffy thing, I'll see if Simba is at the around. Back door. My God, that boy is heavy. Simba is the cat. We also have a pet cat who just appears at our door quite a lot. Should we move on from me being salty about the Magic Leap?
Yes. You're always salty about the Magic Leap.
Someone must know something about bringing this thing back online, because we've got the bootloader unlocked. We just need to bypass software, and it's got to be doable. It's got to be.
Robert, this wasn't even one of the subjects that we were supposed to talk
but the people
about.
Listening to also the people listening to this podcast probably don't care and don't know about it.
I think the only person who would is M.
But I don't even think I love you, M, but I don't think you'd know much about it either. I'm just going to move these about a bit. So the company Omi, I have a very good relationship with Omi. I can't remember what that was. I've been promoting the Omi Friend, or it was called Friend originally. The small triangular necklace that was always listening AI.
Hang on, what was the other thing then? Because that's what I thought we were just talking about.
That was the Humane AI pin, similar, but the Omi is actually useful.
Okay.
So Omi have created a way for you to clone yourself in AI through your social media posts. Currently, this only works on Twitter, or X, sorry. But it is something that I have done. This is from their Discord. It was also on their X profile. I'm not going to go full screen because it tells me off if I do that, and it stops the stream.
Has it stopped the stream?
No, it just stops the screen share. So, what if AI could truly know you? Basically, the idea of this is it scrapes all of your social media platforms, and I've just lost the page.
I don't want it to do that.
So this is an opt-in thing. You have to physically tell it to find these things. If AI could truly know you, clone yourself with Omi. Just enter your social media handles.
No, I'm good.
Verify them, and then you can talk to yourself, and it can, in the future, reply to your DMs for you like you would.
I was about to say, I already talk to myself.
In exactly the same way as you would. So, if I'm super busy and head down in some work, and you message me about something and it's not particularly important, I can just go get Omi, reply to Zoe for me, and it will write a reply based upon what you've told me in the way that I speak, based upon my Slack messages, my YouTube, my Twitter, my Facebook, my WhatsApp, as many of the platforms as they write for. Would you have a persona? Would you use an AI version of yourself?
No.
Oh, okay. Is it going beyond creepy?
Yes.
Rob, we worked at XYZ. Let's remake the whole ass OS for Magic Leap. I know enough of the Magic Leap to know you shouldn't be salty about the fact it's bricked with all things. Shut up! I am salty about it because it was a good piece of kit. It was pretty cool for the time.
And we're back.
Because it was a cool piece of tech for the time. You used it, and you were
once to try it out,
but
because you would not stop talking about the thing.
But you enjoyed it, and I think it was a really cool piece of tech for the time.
Oh my god! Why don't you just make it yourself?
Because I don't have waveguides to hand. I don't have a CPU and a computer and a GPU. Yes, it's creepy. Okay, fine. I don't even use Snapchat's AI. I think 99% of people who use Omi are e-girls to get them Sims 24/7 in chats. Okay, so I have trained my persona on my X profile. I don't really post on X.
Okay.
I don't really post on X. So what it did was it just started spouting random crap about nothing. I think if I trained it on my YouTube, that's when it gets pretty cool. Because it's trained on all of the things, on all of my reviews, right? So can I then not just ask it to write a review based upon how I review things. Do you see what I mean? I think that's where things get pretty cool and pretty powerful from a productivity standpoint. Rob, Magic Leap was a lie, even for the time. Shut up! I remember that video that they did. That I remember the promo video that they did.
And we're back.
And it was
a really bloody Magic Leap.
It was a really bad video. Actually, no, it was a great video. So, for context, let me see if I can find it. Actually, I'm going to see if I can find this video of the Magic Leap whale promo video. And then I will share it on the screen as well. Magic Leap whale. Here we are. Let me just quickly screen share. And so Magic Leap announced their AR product with this video, right? And everyone was like, "Oh my god, the AR is going to be just like that." It wasn't like that.
Of course it bloody wasn't.
I will agree that was a lie. But what it actually did was still very, very impressive for the time. There were very few other things on the market that could do what the Magic Leap did. Isn't that what most people on X post? Yes. Anyway, personas. I like the idea of it from a productivity standpoint. Let's say I train it on all of my Slack messages for work. And then that one particular co-worker who keeps messaging me that I don't particularly want to talk to, I could just make an AI reply to them instead. No one else wants to use the persona, the AI persona that's slightly creepy, but I think actually does have a use case in certain...
When am I going to use it?
Okay, maybe you wouldn't use it. But...
Exactly. What use do I have?
Fine. Oh, right. The last topic. I promise, this one's still creepy.
Thank God for that.
This one is definitely still creepy. So, Meta have released the Aria Gen 2 smart wearables. Now, these are not wearables for the general public. These are not like AR glasses that you wear, and they're not the Magic Leap, is what I'm saying here.
Or the glasses you currently have.
Or the ones that I currently have. These are...
What makes these creepy?
So these are for researchers. These are for Meta and a few other companies to understand how people and these computers see the world. So these glasses have a ton of different sensors all around them. So let's zoom in on this picture here. 4 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, all of that sort of stuff. Privacy switch, capture buttons. There are, I think, 4 or 5 different cameras around the body. It has eye tracking, it has LED indicators, it has motion sensors and IMUs. And basically, they want people to wear these glasses around and just go about their day. And all of the IMU data, so the position and rotation of the glasses, what the glasses are seeing, all of that gets saved and then can be reused in research with Meta and a few other companies who are also working on the Project Aria project. Essentially, it is just a tool for Meta to collect as much data about the world as they can.
Don't they already do that already?
Sort of, but this gives them data about augmented reality and how people look at the world and how people see the world, which isn't something that we've really had up until this point. Sensors on the Project Aria glasses capture the wearer's video and audio, as well as their eye tracking and location information. On-device computing helps researchers figure out how AR can work in the real world, helping to build a better understanding of our world together. I would actually like to have a pair of these, and I would like to try and see the kind of data that it can produce. There's a whole research paper on it. When you
say that it's going to get different perspectives and different viewpoints, how is that going to work? Because
so up until this point,
if I see something, if we're both looking at something and I see something completely different, how are they going to see that? Because I'm only going to see something slightly different because I'm autistic. How is that going? So when you say it's going to see different perspectives, how is that going to work?
Because
I don't understand.
When you're walking into a shop, I could perhaps be looking at. I would look at the signs first, or you might look at the mannequins first, or a particular piece of clothing first, and then Meta can take those two completely different perspectives on things and understand how they can use AR and augmented reality, artificial intelligence, to build experiences for people. Essentially, it's just a way for Meta to continue to
get data from
steal
people.
data. No, it's not even stealing. People are willingly giving data away at this point. But I think it's been happening for actually quite a long time. I work with a company and have done for quite a while. Do you remember Niantic? The company who did Pokemon Go, who did the Harry Potter one, the AR experiences where we walked around Portsmouth and we played the Harry Potter one back in the day where we collected wands and stuff. And you had the map and you had to go to certain locations.
Yes.
So Niantic have been building an AR version of the world bit by bit through their developers. So every time, while I was out in Dubai last year and I was scanning those sculptures and I was scanning the hotel that I was at, all of that data is being saved by Niantic somewhere to enable them to get a better understanding of the world, in the hopes that in a few years' time they will have almost a one-to-one recreation of the world in augmented reality. It's a really interesting research tool, and I would like a pair to be able to see what kind of data it actually produces. And there is a lot to talk about here, but I won't go into it too much, only because it's going to bore you and it's going to bore everyone else. So they've created a few models. Yeah,
would it even be able to track your eyes?
No, not mine, but other data account. So they've released a few different projects based upon this. The first one being called Ego Blur. It's an AI model from Meta that preserves the privacy by detecting and blurring personal identification, personal information. So, do you remember the Black Mirror episode where the wife blocks the husband? So then, whenever the husband looks at the wife or the kids, he just saw a blurry mess.
Yeah.
Basically that. They've been able to build that in the real world. They can blur people's faces. They can blur number plates and other personal identifiable information. So that's one of the projects that these AR glasses have managed to build. Scene Script is another one, which might actually be a little bit more useful. It helps to understand and describe 3D spaces for people who are blind. So let's say people who are blind have been wearing these glasses for a while and they go to the same supermarket every single time. And they've mapped it out by just walking around it as they do their daily life. And then they say, I needed to buy red onions. And you could just say to Aria, hey, take me to the red onions. And because it's got a internal map of the supermarket already, it is able to basically lead the person to the red onions. Because it's built a map of it. Can you see that being a more useful use case for it?
That one, I can see it being more useful.
Blurring faces, because it's a cool and interesting.
Because a dog's not exactly going to be able to lead you back to onions.
Okay, that one's cool, but I won't talk about that one because that one's about sort of what we're looking to do at work at the moment. But I won't talk about it because it's very, very boring. Okay. So anyway, Zoe, how are we looking time-wise? I can't read the time down there. Can you?
No, because we've got the mouse thing over it. 51?
51. That's not too bad, is it? I think we've had a very successful podcast episode. It only took us 2 takes this time.
It always takes us 2 takes.
Thanks, Streamlabs. Love you. I'm really glad that we've had some conversations. That we've discovered that the Magic Leap perhaps isn't as great as I thought it was. But damn it, I still liked the thing. We discovered that Skype is still a thing. Somehow. Honestly, yeah, I'm genuinely in awe that Skype is still a thing.
8 years ago.
Yeah. We've discovered that you can, for some reason, hire some men with pew-pews in the US. Of course you can. And what else have we discovered?
That I'm still as confused as ever.
That you are still as confused as ever. And Meta has produced some glasses that are even more creepy somehow than their standard technology that they already use.
Are they more creepy than the robot we spoke about last week, though?
You actually made me stop that video. So last week we spoke about a robot that had muscles and it had bones. It was a bit weird. Even I thought that one was a bit too far. Because I've seen Westworld and I know how that ends.
Hey, I've seen Westworld.
Yeah. Actually, we need to watch the 3rd season of that. We've still got a season to go. Anyway, guys, we hope that you have enjoyed this episode, albeit a slightly different angle for this episode. We've got a nice little close-up shot. If you did enjoy it, then get subscribed, like the video, share it, and you can also get subscribed over on Spotify as well, because we do the audio-only part of the podcast over on Spotify. Anyway, my name has been Robert.
I'm Zoe.
This has been Clu and Clueless, and we will catch you all